Have you ever wondered about the very first story of humanity, the one that sets the stage for everything that follows? It's a tale of paradise, a single rule, and a choice that changed the world forever. Let's journey back to the beginning, to the lush and perfect Garden of Eden. God created the first man, Adam, and placed him in this beautiful garden. Imagine a place where everything was in perfect harmony. The animals were tame, the trees were heavy with delicious fruit, and there was no sickness or sadness. Adam's job was to tend to this paradise. But God saw that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone. So he created a companion for him, Eve, formed from one of Adam's own ribs. Together, they were the first family, living in a state of pure innocence and joy. In this perfect garden, God gave them just one rule. He told them, "You are free to eat from any tree in the garden, but you must not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, for when you eat from it, you will certainly die." It was a simple test of trust and obedience. Among all the abundance, just one tree was off limits. For a time, Adam and Eve lived happily, following this single command. They walked with God in the cool of the day, sharing a relationship we can only imagine. But then, something entered the garden that would disrupt this perfect peace. A serpent, described as the most cunning of all the wild animals, approached Eve. This wasn't just any snake. It was a voice of deception. The serpent planted a seed of doubt, asking, "Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?" Eve corrected him, explaining they could eat from any tree except one. But the serpent was clever. He twisted the truth, saying, "You will not certainly die. For God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil." The serpent made disobedience sound so appealing. He made God's loving rule seem like a way to hold them back. Eve looked at the tree. The fruit was beautiful, it looked delicious, and the promise of gaining wisdom was irresistible. The doubt had taken root. She made a choice. She took some of the fruit and ate it. Then, she gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he ate it too. In that moment, everything changed. Their innocence was gone. They suddenly felt shame and fear, feelings they had never known before. They realized they were naked and tried to hide from God. When God came to walk in the garden as he always did, Adam and Eve hid. "But you can't hide from God." He called out, "Where are you?" Adam, full of fear, admitted they had hidden because they were afraid. God knew immediately what had happened. He asked the heartbreaking question, "Have you eaten from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from?" Adam blamed Eve, and Eve blamed the serpent. No one took responsibility. God pronounced curses upon the serpent, upon Eve, and upon Adam. Life would now be filled with struggle, pain, and hardship. And most sadly, their close, walking relationship with God was broken. God made garments of skin for them, and then sent them out of the Garden of Eden. Cherubim and a flaming sword were placed to guard the way to the tree of life, so they could never return. This story, though ancient, speaks to us today. But it is also the beginning of a much larger story, a story of redemption that unfolds throughout the rest of the Bible. If you found this interesting, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into these timeless tales. See you next time.